Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Welcome you all again in the virtual learning system of Pakistan International School Taif, Saudi Arabia. Dear students, as you know that this is Pakistan International School Taif virtual class for class second year students subject computer science, and today is our 44th lecture. Teacher name Imran Ahmad. Dear students, as you know that in the previous lecture we were discussing about chapter number 5, which was arrays and strings. We are already discussing the arrays in the long question answers, and today our new topic is question number 3. What are strings? How strings are defined in C++? Give examples. Strings. Definition of string is this. String is the combination of different characters. Simply in English language, you call that thing is word. For example, Pakistan. Pakistan is a word, but over here we will call it as a string. To define a string in C++, the data type character means char. Whenever we will define any kind of string, we will use a data type char for that, the name of the string and the number of character it is required. The general form, how to declare a string or how to define a string, the general form is this. First of all, the reserved word, reserved data type character means simply, or in the short form you will write char. Then string name, any user defined name, for example xyz or ABC or whatever you want to write, the name of string you can write, but not a reserved word, keep in mind. Then square bracket, and inside the square brackets you will define the length of a string or string size. Now the character word keyword lets the compiler know that the variable of the character is declared. The string name is the name of string variable. I told you as XYZ, ABC, whatever you want, it follows the same name rules of the type of the variable. As I told you, you cannot write the reserved word as a string name, or the rules which you have studied in the chapter number 3, you can keep in mind the variable rules. The string size is enclosed within square brackets, specifies the number of characters that can be stored in the string. Now, note that since the null character is placed at the end of string, what is null character? How it will be stored in the string? I will tell you in the example. If a string has a n character, let's say if a string has n character, for example, Imran has a 5 character, then the string size should be at least n plus 1. For example, I want to make the string, let's say over here, I give the example Sunday. Sunday have 6 character, but I will define minimum that string size for 7 character. Why 7 character? Why 7 length? Because at the last after the last character, compiler automatically insert a special character which is backslash 0, which is defined by null character. It means that whenever the null character is defined, it means that the termination of a string. Now we will discuss the example. The following statement declares a string called weekday that can hold maximum 10 characters. Maximum how many characters? 10 characters. It means that we can store in that kind of string overall 9 characters. If we define a string of 10 characters, but we can store the values or we can store the character in that string total 9 character. How? I will tell you in the example. Now watch here, character weekday. Now character is a data type, weekday day is the name of string. Weekday is the name of string. Inside square brackets, total length of a string is 10 character. Total length of a string is 10 character. Why 10 character? Oh, now in this 10 character, I can store how many characters? I can store only 9 characters, not a 10 character, unlike arrays. In arrays, how many digits will be there? How many, how, whatever the size of array, we can store the same size, but in the string, we can store the n minus 1. Now, for example, character weekdays, now initialization of the string inside within braces we can write any nine character with the separation of comma, and each character will be enclosed within single inverted commas. For example, the word is Sunday. Sunday is the combination of six characters. First character is S and it is enclosed in a single inverted comma, then separation of two characters U and S is comma. Then N, then D, then A and Y. Watch here how computer memory will store these type of characters. How computer memory will represent Sunday, this word in computer memory. Watch here, let's say this is computer memory, this block shows the computer memory. Now first character will be stored in the first place, U will be stored in the second, N will be third, D will be fourth, A will be fifth, and Y will be sixth. Over here, because the index is starting from the 0, that's why we count it as a, as it will be stored at the 0 position, U will be stored at the first position, N will be stored at the second, up to so on. Now watch here, over here our string is completed because the word Sunday is over written over here, and each and every character is represented in computer memory. Now compiler automatically insert that character. That's why I was telling you, if you declare the string after 10th character, let's say 10 character over here, how many character I can save inside the string over here? Total 9 character, because compiler automatically insert when our string will be finished, compiler automatically insert the null character at the end of each string. That's why we will represent total how many characters. Now if there are 5 character in our string, if we define the 5 character in the string, then we can store 4 character inside over here. Now example 2, the following statement declares a string called student name that can hold 20 characters, including one for the null character. So this one is the same example. Now over here, if you define the 20, so you can store the 19 characters, and the name of the string should be over here student name. Next question. Question number 4. Explain the purpose of the following string functions. We have a few string functions like any other functions. Let's say already we have discussed a few function. For example, get ch function, get che function, but that was belong to a single character. Today we will discuss the few functions which are already defined in this chapter. First one is string copy. We cannot write the full form of string copy. We can write strcpy, string copy. This means the string copy. Next function is string cat, string concatenation. Next is string length. Next is str comparison. This one is cmp, stand for comparison. So one by one we will explain and define the function. First one is string copy function. The string copy function is used to copy content of a string variable or string constant to another string variable. Let's say in our program we have two strings and we want to copy one string into another one, then we will use which function? Then we can use a string copy function. How can we define or how can we write the string copy function in our program? The general form of string copy function is strcpy. Watch here, this function strcpy. Now string 2 comma string 1, it means that second string, any second string will be copy its content to first one string. Now string 1 will be copied into the string 2. It has two arguments. Two arguments mean, for example, watch here, one argument is this one, another argument is this one. So string 1 will be copied into string 2. String 1 and string 2 which are using variable. When it is executed, content of string 1 will be copied into string 2. Okay. So it means that we are going to the copy of string 1 into string 2. For example, string 2 have length of 10 character and we have defined it is 20 characters, and string 1 is also a 10 characters, so we can last character should be omitted because the last character should be backslash 0. Next one is string concatenation function. String cat function is used for the concatenation or joining of two string. Joining of two string, the general form of string concatenation function is strcat string cat. Now string 1 string 2, it means that two string will be make a single string, they will be concatenate to each other. When this function is executed, it will append concatenate string 2 on the end of string 1. It means that when the contents of string 1, when the characters of string 1 will be ended, then the next string 2 will be started. For example, character string 1 having 10 length and string 2 having the 10 length. Now we want to string copy function. First function is string copy. Now home. This one is a string and home will be copied into string 1. Second, work. Work will be copied into string 2. Now string cat, string 2 comma, string 1 comma, string 2, then it means that they are going to combine the single string to making the single string. So string cat cout string 1, string 1 and L. It means that they will be show your output should be like this one, home work. It means that the contents of string 2 is copied or concatenated with the string 1. Third function for the string is string length function. If we want to know how many characters in our string, then this function will tell us 5 characters, 6 characters, whatever the characters are. The string length function is used to return the length, the number of characters of a string. The general form of string length function is string length, strlen, and inside any string you can write, it will tell you how many characters in the strings are. Here string is the string variable. For example, character str, I define a string, its name, string name is str, and it in the memory location we reserve how many bytes? 10 bytes. Why the 10 bytes? Because character or string is the combination of characters, and character occupy a single byte in computer memory. Now word is our string, word is computer, computer. How many characters in over here? 8 characters are here. The number of characters in the strings are, now I am using that function str length and str. The name is over written over here. So and l, the output should be like this: the number of character in the strings are 8. It tells me how many characters were in the string. So total characters in the computers are 8. Next one, string comparison function. The string comparison function compare two strings and return an integer value based on the result of comparison. So it will tell me the integer value. The general form of string function is string comparison string 1 comma string 2. The function will return the following integer value based on the result of the comparison. Okay, three possibilities are there. If it will return 0 when this function will return the value 0 if string 1 and string 2 are the same. It means that the both having the same values, then or same length, then it will return us the 0 value. Second, it will return 1 if string 1 is greater than string 2. It means that if the value or the characters of string 1 are greater than the string 2, then it will return us, it will show the result 1. When it will show the result -1 if string 1 is less than string 2. If string 1 is less than string 2, then it will give us the result -1. So these are the four functions belonging to the string functions. After that, in this chapter there was only two topics: strings and the arrays. Already we have defined the arrays, and already we have now we have today we have defined the string also. So long questions are finished. Now our next topic, we will discuss the short question answer. Short question answer is, now this the short question will be easy for us because already we have defined the long question answers. Okay. Chapter 5, arrays and strings. Define array and give its advantages in programming. The topic is define array and give its advantages in programming. An array is a collection of same type of elements. Already we have know stored in contiguous memory location, or you can say that consecutive memory locations. Arrays elements are accessed through index number which they occupy. How can we access the arrays element? We can only access the array element with the help of index number. Now, what are the advantages of arrays? It provides a simple solution to many problems when working with long list of same type of data, such as number. When we have long data types, when long, so we can use arrays over there. Reduces the program size. Arrays reduces the program size. It means that if I don't use the arrays and I want to deal with the 5 students or 10 students or 100 students, so it is very difficult for me to define 100 variable in my program. So we will define one single variable and will make that one is array variable. Third advantage is provides an easy way of handling list of numbers or string and makes computer programming tasks simple and easy. If you have practice of arrays, then you will feel how much the array is easy for the programming. So this one is only for the practice. Short question number 2, differentiate between one dimensional and two dimensional array. One dimensional. Store single list of element of similar data type. Similar data type means either integer or either float. Second, declaration in C++. How can we define in C++? Over here, type means data type. Data type. Data type, let's say integer or float. Then the name of variable of array, for example xyz abc, you can take the any valid variable name for the array. Then inside the square brackets you can use the size of array. For example, if you want to reserve the 10 memory location, you will write over here 10. If you know that there are 100 students in your class, to represent, then you will write the 100. So it is totally depend on the programming. Third advantage, third difference is it can be received in a pointer sized array or unsized array. So pointer is now omitted from your course. So we will discuss any other time for the pointers variable. Simply over here pointer point out the memory location directly. One dimension, it is only single dimension. Single dimension means either the data will be represented in it is on the x-axis, or we can define write the data in x-axis or y-axis. As you know that the x-axis and the y-axis in the mathematics term, so this is the same terminology in the one dimension. Next is two dimension. Store list of lists. If the one dimension is single list, so two dimension is the list of lists or array of arrays. You can say that two dimension array is the array of arrays or array of the one dimensional array. So you can use any terminology over here for this two dimension array. How can we define the two dimensional array in our computer memory or in our program? First of all, declaration in C++. Type. Type means data type, means integer or float. Then the name of variable name. For example, any name you can use A, B, or AB or AC, whatever you want. Then the size. Now watch here, there are two dimension. First dimension is over here. It means that data will be stored in the both direction, x-axis as well as y-axis. And the size 2, just a minute. Size 1 and size 2. It means that if I write the size 1 over here, for example 3, and over here if I write the 4, it means that I can represent my data in 3 rows and 4 columns. 3 rows and 4 columns. If I write over here 2 and 3 over here, it means that 2 rows and 3 columns of my two dimensional array will be. So any dimension, if you write 10 over here and 20 over here, it means that you can write the data 10th row, 10, 10 rows, and how many columns? 20 columns. So you can simply say that the matrix in the maths are the best example of the two-dimensional array. Parameter receiving, it must define in the rightmost definition of an array. So parameter receiving is belongings to the functions. It is this topic is also omitted from your course. So parameter simply I can explain over here. Inside the function, they are uh, they can pass the value, they can receive the value. So this one belongs to the passing and the receiving. Fourth difference is two dimension. As one dimensional array means it represent the data is only on the single axis, and two dimensional means it represent the data x axis as well as y axis. I hope you understand this short question. Inshallah, tomorrow we will discuss the further short question belongings to the arrays. Till take care of yourself. Pray for me. Pray for all Muslim. Allah Hafiz.